So you have a small map of the Isles for your perusal.
Perusal.
Yeah.
Also, I
And
may or may not have ordered a new phone today.
oh, what'd you get?
Uh, Note 20.
Ooh, interesting.
They're up to
I've
20.
got, well, they went from 10 to 20. Because I think they did that because it matches the year, so they switched their naming scheme. So 2020, the Note 20, 21 will
And
be
the
the Note
21.
21.
No, 21.
Whatever. It makes about as much sense as what they did before.
All right, welcome everybody to the Adventures of the Redbane Guild, and I am your sniffly DM, who hopefully tonight will not stuff up too much because of the snifflies and coughs that I got going on. And hopefully this won't be too much work on James in editing to edit out all my nose blows and sniffles and stuff like that. And
It's the final boss challenge.
and my slightly cloudy head, I will attempt to remember all the things. So last we left off, you had at last left the Isle of Giants, boarded back onto the Larkspur, and traveled a few days. Bew lost his horns. You had a few touching conversations with Vissa, gave her gifts. You discovered that you were in fact followed by the Fey Dragons from the mainland. And of course, Bew's sickness worsened and became quite serious. And you found out what it was. It is a disease called blood fungus, contracted from the encounter with the prime blood vine. Valdemar knew of this and found it in the medical textbook. And you have a very short time until Bew succumbs to his illness. And this is what Mealy informed you, is that there is a chain of
Months and months
islands.
have come to the sickness.
So there's a chain of islands called the Gutfelden Isles, near the edge of where she knows of in the known world, and still fairly near the Isle of Giants, as Valdemar knew of the cure. But it is at least a week or so of sailing in the Vedran Isles from here. So your objective, according to Miali, is to find a special kind of seaweed to slow the disease until you're able to get to the cure. And that's where you are now. You see this grouping of isles. They are rocky and harsh looking, jagged outcroppings, inhospitable, kind of. Still, though, a few fir trees grow along the lower, less rocky parts, all of it covered in snow with scraggly bushes about their trunks. Additionally, you notice many hundreds, probably thousands, of puffins who make their homes in the cliffs, darting in and out of the water and returning to their roosts with their fish. And that is the main landscape of it. You can't exactly tell how many isles there are from where you are currently, but there's at least a few.
And where are we exactly, or we're coming up on these isles?
Yes, you're coming up on these isles from the south to the north. And you're just maybe about 10 miles off, viewing them from the from your spot on the ship. And where are you all, and what do you do?
Bew is nursing his fever below deck.
Yeah, it's not going very well. I woke up this morning higher and sweat, and it's overall feeling pretty miserable. You feel this deep stress, just a blanket anxiety, kind of just looming in your mind, all about you. And those boils, they itch.
Worth is standing in the corner of the very back of the bridge, standing there in the cold with a ray on his face, looking out at the abyss in front of him.
I am a rogue, he says to himself.
But he is being completely nosy and standing there watching everything up on the bridge because he likes to know what's going on.
So it's up there on the bridge now, is Graciela, and Nikolai are kind of conversing. Mieli is sorry, comes up fairly near you and looks out at the islands as well. Purple seaweed. That's what we need. It's fairly rare, but in these islands like these, I'm fairly confident that we can secure some.
Would it be? Well, you said seaweed, so it's in the water.
Yes, inland, in lagoons and things like that. So hopefully, once we get in there, we'll find some sort of a beach. I'm fairly sure there would be. And whilst we go out, there will be plenty of space to hide the ship. We should probably hide it just in case. You know, can't be too careful in our position.
Yeah.
Then, if all goes well, we'll get this. I'll make the elixir, and we'll be able to make you well enough for long enough to get the real treatment.
All right, let's find a lagoon.
You glide in near the isles, and if you look at, I'll pause for a second. I got to get my map.
Bones are getting stupid expensive.
Bones?
They sure are.
Or phones?
Yeah.
Both.
Maybe because I don't know. Turn it.
Okay, here we go.
Hold on. The background's doing stupid things.
It's just cloudy.
Don't worry about it.
Jesus.
That looks terrible because that's not the color it actually, is.
So I have to take it to 17. Strength.
Whatever. This camera's terrible. Whatever, it's working better. Okay, we're ready.
Okay, so Graziella brings you guys in. She takes the helm herself and brings you in to these isles. Like I said, from south to north, right in that gate between those two southernmost isles, you'll see there on the map. And you get in, passing through by rocky cliffs that are many times higher than the ship, and you see vines and on these outcroppings and ice and places where these rocks have fallen away in the past. You feel almost like better be careful in case they fall on you now. But you sail in and you see that first cove on your right. It's a massively big expanse, but there's doesn't really look like there's anywhere to land in there. It's pretty sheer. All of the rock walls from the water is still pretty sheer rising up. You don't really see a beach or anything. And through that second, even narrower passage there, just north of the first bay, on your left, from the ship, you can see actually there's a small, short beach of frozen, kind of cold frozen sand. And up on the beach, there are a few rock features, large boulders and such. And Miele looks over there. Could be some, but let's sail about first. See if there's a better hiding place than that. And a larger beach, perhaps. That one's fairly small. So you keep going a little further. Shoot the gap between that small island on the right. And up through that passageway. And you actually go to the very central isle around there. You see that? You actually circle it north going into that bay between the central aisle and the west and that western aisle. And there she spots it. Miele and Graziella both say at the same time, kind of say, there. And there is a cove there that looks like it's very well sheltered in, hidden from view from any side of the outside of the aisles. And it is that one, it is that cove right there so you see
The deep cove.
the northwestern aisle, not the tiny one, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, if it's the one that's northwest of the central aisle, and there is that kind of inland cove that pokes fairly far inland. That's the one that they point to. And Graziella brings the larkspur in and faces it into a fairly good hiding spot in that cove. She said, "This will do. Hidden from view, very nice. The walls of the island, the cliffs rise about you guys, at least 100 feet high, and it is a good spot. You definitely won't be seen from the sea from any direction here. And so here you are. What do you all do?
Is there any place to land like a rowboat here, or do we need to go out on a small craft?
Well, we can lower you down here.
But there's no like beach or lagoon here to look for.
Not here." Miele says, "No, not here. We couldn't go back to the one we saw earlier unless there was that seaway that we passed but did not go into. That could be a place to look as well. But we should get on.
Let's go.
We will lower you down onto the lower boat."
Okay.
So you're up there, Worth, talking with them. Where are you up at, Mirwin?
I'm nearby,
So you
so
kind
I
of hear
know
them.
what's going on.
Yeah, you hear them talking and saying all of this. So you get the sense of what's happening.
I have to know where we're going to, you dum dum.
Nah.
Do you want to check in with the sick one before you leave? Before we
No.
leave, I'll be coming with you. Oh, I thought you were
He's not
best
going
friends.
anywhere. Friends enough. Doesn't mean we're gonna get hugs and kisses before we go. Saving his life will be show of friendship enough.
Well, I'm going to go down and say goodbye to him. And
I'll
I've
come
only
with
known
you.
him. And I've only known him a few weeks.
I'll go say goodbye.
All right.
Just a cold bastard, I guess.
I thought he was best friend.
I guess you are, says Vissa, who comes up and slaps you on the arm. Go say goodbye to your friend.
It's
What's he
not
doing
goodbye.
out there?
I don't say goodbye to him when I leave the room and go to the bathroom, do I?
Oh, is it just because you're afraid and you don't want to say goodbye?
Yes, that's exactly what it
Because
is.
you hate
figured it out.
goodbyes? Is that it? Oh.
Say goodbye all day long and not shed a tear.
He just hates goodbyes, that's all. He's all soft inside, really. Yes, I think you're right, Vissa. He is.
Go
So
say
Mia,
goodbye
they-
so we could go.
He likes to be left alone so he can cry in silence.
He looks like the type that would do that. Doesn't show it publicly, but in private, you bet he does. And Vista goes, he should really just open up about it. We don't really mind. You can talk to us about whatever you're feeling.
Then I wouldn't be all dark and edgy.
You should let it out once in a while in front of your friends. It's good for you. It's
No.
okay. We don't judge. We're not judgy.
You can leave now.
I'm gonna go see. I'm gonna go see how Bee is. I'll follow you guys. So Miele heads down toward the lower deck where View is, taking you and Vissa with her. Mirwin, you head down below decks. There you find Bew and his cat nursing a fever.
Do you need anything before we leave?
What? Bew has that dagger. He's been clutching to his chest.
Oi!
Yeah, what is it?
Do you need?
There-
We're gonna go look for the seaweed. Do you need anything before we go?
No. No, you're
Don't
good
use
to
that
go.
dagger while we're gone.
Why are you holding it like that? No one's coming for you. What are you gonna do with that? What is that for? What's it for?
I don't know. I'm just holding it. Many reasons. Something might get me, and something
Nothing
might
will get
me.
you, I promise.
And if the things that they say is true, then things will be sprouting from me soon. Cut those off.
Ooh. Okay. She goes, I don't worry though, I'll protect you. I'll sit right down here until the whole time until they're back for sure. You could give me the dagger.
No, I think I'll hold on
Are
to it
you
for right now.
sure? Are you sure? Very, very sure.
Yeah, I'll hold on to it.
Okay, all right, that's fine. I'll just make sure you don't have to use it though.
Yeah, I'll
Oh,
hold
there,
on.
yeah, that's a dagger. It's okay. Don't worry. How about I bring you a bit of water and a washcloth, and you can go like this, like you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Now they're going to go onto the islands, and
We're going to. Where are we?
we're at the Goatfelden Isles, where Miali says that the seaweed is that we need to make the special thing, so that you will feel better for a bit, and it'll slow down the disease, so that it doesn't sprout any things right now. That's why we're here. You look a bit out of it.
Do I?
Yeah.
I think fevers do that to a person.
Yeah, I suppose so. How about you go back to sleep?
No. Well, I will fight for. I will help, and you'll try to get up. We are going.
Mirwin, hold him down. No, you stay. You stay here.
Are you determined to go, or are you going to listen to Mirwin?
I'll definitely attempt to get up.
Yeah, absolutely. Make a con check with disadvantage.
Ooh. 5.
You go "Hudunk" under her waiting hands, and you just your strength absolutely fails you, and you get right back down on the bed. Mirwin's big hands on each of your shoulders.
We will take care of it. You just stay here and rest. Don't want you,
Yeah. Well,
getting lost out there.
I would be able to fight for myself if it wasn't for the fever. So, just so you know, I would be able to take care of this.
Cannot hear you, Nicholas.
How about now?
There you go.
That Mike does the double mute thing sometimes. So no one's saying you're not brave, or that you're not capable, or anything like that. You just need to. I'm sure you'd be able to fend for yourself, but really just rest.
Not worried about being brave or anything like that. But you are fighting for me, and that is not something that I like. I fight for myself.
We're not fighting anything. We're just gonna find some seaweed. That's all I have to do. Go get it, and then we'll come back. Yeah, it'll be easy.
Mealy says it grows in the lagoons, so all we're gonna do is go in the rowboat, and we're gonna row it to a lagoon, and then we're gonna pick a bunch of seaweed and bring it back, and then you're gonna eat it or something. She was unclear about that.
Nothing to it.
I've never had seaweed before.
I have. It's not bad. It's an acquired taste, but you know, if it's going to save your life, you can stomach it for one time.
I wonder if it has to be administered rectally. Worth isn't down there.
Oh yeah, I was erecting Worth as if he was down there.
I just couldn't resist.
All right, you lay down. I'm going to get water and a sponge and stuff, and we're gonna keep you all healthy.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. She kind of pats you back down into bed, puts the blanket over you.
Sadie's being awfully cute right now.
Sadie. Mirwin, you and Mealy, what do you do next?
I'm going to go collect whatever supplies we need.
Mealy
Load
gives
up
you a
on
wave, view, and she heads off with you, Mirwin. And what are you looking for? Anything else? Anything you need? Or
I don't know.
Mealy, do we need anything before we go?
Yeah. Maybe a net to collect the seaweed.
Good idea.
Something like that. A bag.
Let's bring a net. Net or a large. Do we have a large like wicker basket somewhere here? I'm sure we can find one.
Not sure.
Load as much of it as we can in. It might not be a bad supply to have a lot of if we're going
Yeah.
to be voyaging. As much as we can.
Yeah,
I'm sure
we'd rather
somebody
have
will put it on,
too much than not enough.
Exactly. All right. Well, let's take a look around for a wicker basket. Make a survival check.
Eyeball check.
Are they back to me yet? Do I make the survival check as well?
Are you up? You're still upper decks. Are you looking for anything or making any sort of prep before you leave?
Yeah, I suppose since I was waiting around, I'd try to get things ready, whatever I thought we might need.
Sure.
Maybe I could have thought a basket.
Sure, make a check as well.
I rolled an 8.
Okay. And Worth?
18.
Between the two of you, you find a very you succeed on the check. You find a very nice, large, arm-sized and deep wicker basket, and additionally a nice, tightly woven fishing net. So you've got two very efficient methods of collection with you. And you're all upper deck now, and you see that Graziella and Drasana are beginning to ready the rowboat for you guys to take. And you see that Mealy has gone off just a bit, and she's over next to the gunwale on the opposite side of the boat as you, kind of crouched next to a sleeping, lying down moss face, who kind of rolls over his belly toward her, and she gives him some scritches, smiles with that ever green mouth, and you see her whisper some words to him, and she gets up and heads back over towards you guys. She says, "Well, I'm coming with you.
Let it be."
I would take Mossface, but he's about as big as a rowboat, so."
Yeah, I think he might take up a lot of space on that boat.
Could prove a detriment, in fact.
Yes. I also want to take along some food and rations because I don't know how long we're going to be.
Definitely. Surely we'll only be a week on this island.
Yeah.
All we're doing is getting seaweed. Now we're coming straight back.
Comes back a month and a half later. Now, yeah.
Look at the detail he put into these islands. There's no way we're just going to be a couple hours.
Shush. You doesn't need to know that.
He's not up here.
Bew doesn't know anything.
He knows nothing
But
at all.
that's why I told him that we're just going and we're coming back. So he doesn't have to worry about it.
I'm going to worry about it. Anyway.
This is why we don't let you talk to him.
So we get the basket and the net, and we get in the boat and the food.
Yes, you have your basket, your net, you have provisions. You have provisioned yourselves for at least a week, just in case. Says it's going to be a couple hours trip, but you're wise enough to know that you got to pack for way longer than you think you're going to be anywhere. So you are packed up and provisioned.
Hey,
Because
we're
the
driving
DM
to
is
Topeka to pick up something and then come right back. Let's pack a suitcase.
Just, let's pack as if we were going to like California, just in case.
That you would be surprised at how close that is to my mentality. Oh, we're gonna be gone, Carrie's parents, for like, a couple of days. So like one night, okay, I'll bring 3 changes of clothes. Maybe a couple extra pairs of underwear. All my tools in case the car breaks down.
Be prepared. So you board the rowboat, and you are lowered by ropes down into the frigid waters of the sea. You two, it's just you two and Miali. And at this point, I have a stat block for Miali. You want to play her? Unless you're.
Yeah, we could do that.
I mean, unless you wanted to relax and.
Or were you gonna go or something?
I am 30% drunk, tired from working on my house.
Oh, speaking of which, I'm gonna go get some beer.
Then feel free to just listen in or do whatever you like.
I left the beer in the truck.
No, James. That's outside.
You'll have to put on
It's probably hot
mask.
too.
My keys are upstairs.
I have keys.
No.
Gets to go on a whole journey.
I better take provisions.
Take provisions with you so you don't get lost.
Take at least a meal.
Just in case. You're gone a month.
What do you think this belly is for? That's my provisions all the time. Got fat reserves for days and years.
For days. Got belly for days. Oh, yikes.
That's a hard decision to make, though.
You're good. Don't worry about it.
I don't want to abandon all, but I am.
You're good. Your character is sick,
and
I was planning on playing Melee anyway. It's totally fine. Just throwing it out there.
I'll probably build level 6 Spew since I forgot to do that.
Ah, yeah, baby.
I've been busy.
Do that
and
thing.
then.
Ooh. So, D&D Beyond had a anniversary sale, and all of their source books were 20% off.
I know. I got some source books.
So I bought the player's handbook.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I had already bought the feats, so the book was only $16.
Nice.
Pretty good. It's pretty good.
That's a lot cheaper than the book normally is.
It's just the
I was
digital
going to say
one.
things about Critical Role, because because they advertise. Oh man.
No spoilies.
I can't wait. Do you know? I know you've watched some clips. Do you know some of the characters' backstories?
No, actually, I don't know almost nothing about any of them.
That's the most genius part of all of it, is their backstories and how they get explored.
I'm just in the part where they're starting to get to some of Molly's backstory.
Mm-hmm.
So,
where are you at exactly?
Like 15, 16.
Can't say much.
They've dropped hints about a lot of. They've dropped a lot of backstory hints.
I can't say much. He's got a crazy, interesting backstory.
They all do.
Can't say much.
Yeah.
Well, at this point, you don't know much about Not or Caleb or Yasha.
No, nothing about Yasha.
Ford is super interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not absolutely blows it out of the park. Sam blows that crap out
I'm
of the
sure.
park. So
I'm sure.
good.
Hey, did you guys see my picture of the cat tree we got for Mufasa?
I didn't.
Yeah.
Did I miss it? Is it on Instagram?
Mm-hmm.
Instagram. It is.
He's so stupid.
Did I miss it?
I had to change it because the thing on the side, they were like on top, but the ledges are so tiny, and he is big.
And he doesn't climb that much, so he's not confident. I'm sure he could get up there if he wanted to, if he tried, but it's like, nah.
Oh. Sadie would be all over that thing. She's a brave cat.
He was
It
when we
looks-
got him. He used to climb on top of the kitchen cabinets.
He still
He got old.
he still climbs on top of the counters we discovered.
Yeah, somebody
Does he?
left some chicken out.
Oh.
I baked some chicken and I left it out to cool, and I go in there and he's licking the chicken.
Gross. Nasty.
Yeah, we didn't eat that piece.
Oh, I was eating carrots on the couch the other day, and I left the bag of carrots and went in the other room. When I came back, my dog was devouring my carrots.
Dogs do love carrots.
He
Oh,
my
loves carrots.
Did I ever tell you about Sadie and the angel food cake?
No.
I don't think so.
Claire and Dana came over and we watched TV and played video games, and they brought a whole round of angel food cake, and we kept having to like push Sadie away because she wanted to smell it. And finally, she snaked her way in and bit a perfect Sadie-sized bite out of the corner of the food cake. It was a perfect harsh. Stupid cat. Okay, enjoy saving me. Text me if you need me.
Love you.
Oh, you're going to go away?
Yeah, because that'll be fun. You guys don't have the support of Ian listening.
Well, it's you. It's just you guys. It's just you guys. It's up to you to save the view.
Don't die.
All right, you have been
Wait,
lowered
wait.
into the water.
We have to give time for me to cut out the part before he leaves so it's not like this weird abruptness. And then there's got to be a gap after we've gone to the 2-screen thing for me to cut bits out, and then you start talking.
Oh my. Yes. So, you have been lowered into the water upon the boat, just you two and Miali. What do you do? Where do you go?
So are both Mirwin and I rowing, or only one of us rowing?
You're rowing, and Miali is kind of taking up position at the helm, knelt down like she is scanning the water and the coastlines for this seaweed.
So both Mirwin and I are rowing?
Yes, and she's kind of directing you. You have a little bit of a harder time with it. Mirwin is really just rowing along.
We're just
you're like,
going
"Oh."
in circles.
Oh, my arms! Oh, my shrimpy arms! So you head down south out of that bay
Can't wait to
And
play
heading-
Goliath.
and heading east. And heading east and north,
Shucks.
back around the central aisle, the way from which you came, and straight across. You see that larger bay there on the picture. You're heading straight towards it.
I had my eye on that thing because it's a clear, like, lagoonish like thing on it.
You're heading straight
Beach.
towards that, and Miali, she says, "I don't see any yet, but that might be a good spot to check. Think we should check it in?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Looks like a good spot.
Okay, take us there." You row and row straight in through the mouth of that bay of this bay, past that first outcropping to the right, and into this main lagoon part. And you see a beach. It's much larger than the beach you saw before and a bit deeper. And past the beach, the landscape rises into a hill. Top the hill is where most of the trees on this whole area, this whole island chain are. There are a decent amount of trees up there, fir trees, like we're on the Isle of Giants. And there are many large boulders sprinkling this frozen beach. And the main thing really you see as you get closer is sitting back next to those boulders in between several large ones is something about the size of the boulders in height, but very different in shape. As you reach within a few hundred feet of the beach itself, you realize that it is a giant.
Oh.
He is sitting there with his arms folded, observing this small craft approaching his beach.
I stand up and look at him. Greetings.
I've got his attention.
I am Zavoroth, and these are my friends Mirwin and Mealy.
Mealy continues to guide you up, and you slide the boat up onto the sandbar. But he does not respond to you. He merely continues to stand or sit and kind of cocks his head at you. Mealy gets out of the boat. Takes a few steps. She looks back at you guys. I don't know him.
Is he? I kind of whispered or say quietly to Mealy. Is he upset by our presence? He doesn't seem too happy.
Hell, I can't tell. I'll talk to him. She says, we are here looking for a cure for our friend. Can you help us find some seaweed that we need? And he just goes, Grish fala, Golfil Irish Galahar, Bainere Halasafa. And she responds in his tongue. She says, he doesn't speak Althonic. I'll handle this. So she responds in Giant with these long, many-syllabled, flowing words. They exchange a few sentences, and she says, interesting. His name is Crentavium. Only speaks Giant. Says he's been alone on these islands for centuries. Not interested in rejoining society. Very interesting.
Can't blame him.
Wonder why I was never told of him. Certainly, some of my folk must have known of him. I've never been here before, but we knew of this place. If he says he's been here for centuries, that's strange.
Maybe he's been exiled here.
Suppose it's possible. Or maybe he's just a loner. She turns back, speaks with him a bit more. I'm telling him what we need. Another minute goes by. Her face lights up a little bit. A few more words are exchanged. And she says, he says he has some. He knows where it is. He says it's in a place near here, but he won't be specific about it. And she continues to ask him, and you get the sense that she's kind of trying to get him to tell her where this seaweed is. She kind of draws back a little bit. And then she turns back to you guys. He says he'll give it to us. We have to do something for him first. Of course. He wants us to go underground and retrieve something for him. There's a small cave system under this island and some of the others. He wants us to find this type of ore that grows that's abundant in the cave system. He says it's gold-hued veins of ore for him to catch a juvenile kraken.
Oh.
He says they're attracted to the sight of it. He lures them in with the color into the islands where they are less maneuverable, and then he kills and eats them. Says it's the tastiest meat in the sea.
Interesting.
And he doesn't have any of those stones anymore. So he wants us to collect as many as we can, bring them back up for him. And only then will he allow us to have what we need.
Well, it seems like we have little choice.
I knew this wasn't going to be quick. He
Um,
says it only occurs in one place on the islands as well, of course, which he was made sure to tell me so we wouldn't think about going elsewhere and finding it without his approval. Yes, it doesn't appear we have much of a choice.
all right, let's head towards the cave.
She asks in giant, where are the caves? He points right behind him and he moves aside and you see like a very small he shoves one boulder aside and you see a small opening in the side of this rock, this small cliff face. It looks, yeah, it's definitely too small for him to get in, but you all could get in.
As we go in, before we walk into the cave, I want to stop and ask Mealy. He's not gonna push the boulder back and trap us in here, is he? Because he doesn't want us on his islands.
Well, then how are we going to get him the ore?
Maybe that was a ruse to get us into the thing.
No, I'm nearly certain that he really does just want the stones. Seems as if he hasn't had his favorite food in a while, and it's just that simple, honestly. Seemed like it to me, in fact. Besides, I've never known a giant to really act malevolently. Not that it has never happened or couldn't happen, but he just seems like a loner who wants a bit of help. That's what he came off to me, at least.
Fine. But I don't trust him.
She speaks a word to him and motions to you guys to go in the cave. He stands up immensely high, looking down at you guys. Brunsti Harstavo.
We look at Mealy.
He says, good luck.
Is that what he said?
More or less.
Let's go.
You tread into the cave. And inside this cave...
We should light a torch. I light my lantern. I forgot I have that still.
Yeah, you light a lantern. Within the cave is very dark. But your lamp, along with your dark vision, light this place up pretty well. And where is the first part of it? It's like, I gotta go to the bathroom.
Okay.
I'm absolutely...
I'm going to get some water.
I'll get some gummy bears.
Baby, I'm gonna tickle you.
All right. Nab it.
Oh.
Okay. I'm ready. So as you continue into this cave, it's not far before you sense yourself starting to go a little bit down in elevation, and the cave floor starts to smooth out. It was rocky at first. Now, what you see as you get a couple 100 feet in is that this once narrow passage opens up into almost this massive, like almost atrium-like space as you've continued to descend. And as you examine it, you see that here there's this wide chamber. The cave yawns to an immense height. The ceiling, where stalactites hang and drip water gently to the floor, eroding the stone into smoothness here. And let's you guys to roll investigation checks for me.
Investigation.
Investigation.
Ooh. Natural 20.
Ooh, nice. I rolled a 16.
Okay, that's very. I was going to ask for another check, but you guys did well enough that you noticed a couple of things about this chamber. It's kind of strangely messy, almost, in a way that it looks like this may be somewhere where something used to live, like a den of some sort. You see a couple of things scattered about. First, there is what looks like old, very old animal spoor, poop of some kind. There's several piles of it about, and some of it in smaller areas. There are smaller chunks. There are your light catches some shiny objects, just blinking about as you rove it back and forth. There. Like, come on, I'm talking and stuff. I'm not even concentrating on you. Just can you just stop sneezing and sniffling? Trying to do things here. Jesus. There are some what look like old blades, broken swords. There's some armor, rusted and ancient. And one thing in particular catches your eye is very strange. There is, not too much further in, another 100 feet or so, and you head toward it, and Miali noticed this as well. There is an egg-shaped object, about that big. Yay big, yay wide. It's gray, sort of dappled gray. Light tending to some areas of dark. And that's basically most of what you see in this chamber here.
I want to draw my sword in case whatever used to live there still lives there. And we haven't noticed it yet, or it hasn't come back.
I'm going to make a perception check.
Is this egg-shaped thing an egg?
You have to go look at it.
Do you go up and check it out?
Yes.
All right, you approach the egg and make a nature check.
Nature check?
On my perception check, I got a 23.
You don't see anything moving at all. And in fact, combined with your investigation from earlier, it looks like this is not in use by any creatures at the moment, and probably has not been for a long time.
I got a 6.
You got a 6. It's egg-shaped. It looks like an egg. It looks like an egg, as in that it's shaped like an egg, and that's about all you can tell from it. You don't know if it's like got something inside of it. Is it dead? Is it fertilized? What is it? You don't know.
I look over
I
it.
kind of tap on it and listen. Like, I don't know.
It's tapping on it. It's almost like tapping on stone more than tapping on like a chicken egg.
I look over at Mirwin. What is it?
It's an egg.
I walk over to it and I give her this look like, thanks, that was useful. And I want to examine it.
Yeah, make a nature check. At this point, you notice Miele has come up as well and is kind of standing over you guys.
Ooh, 19.
Oh, wow.
You recognize this from books. The pattern on it. This is a wyvern egg.
Oh.
You aren't 100% sure what breed of wyvern or species, but it's definitely the patterns on it. The dappled patterns are a dead giveaway that it's a wyvern egg.
Is it still like alive, whatever is it in there, or is it like a dud?
You're not sure. It's impossible to tell just from looking, but like I said, you can infer that if there was a mother, it hasn't been here in long time.
Maybe that's just how the wyvern do. I look over at Mealy. So,
Do you know what that is?
yeah,
The
the wyvern egg,
that?
huh?
It sure is.
I suppose
Fascinating.
you would be opposed to us taking it?
This is not my land. You may do as you please.
Oh, so since we're not in the sacred forest, if we killed an animal and didn't bury its bones, it wouldn't offend you?
No.
Huh.
I would take no offense.
Good to know. I think we should take it.
It's a great northern wyvern.
Oh.
Sometimes they call them ice wyverns.
Is
The coloration, you can tell.
Are those particularly dangerous or, valuable?
Well, all wyverns can be particularly dangerous. However, I don't know about value.
Oh, of course.
Do you know? I don't know if would someone buy something like this?
Oh, yes. Anything rare?
Give me 1 second. Roll a. Just let me think. Just make an intelligence roll.
Okay. Not great. 12.
And Mirwin.
What?
You do it too.
Oh, sorry. $18.
Yeah, you both have heard of trade in these kind of things. And fossilized ones can go for a hefty sum. Sometimes ancient wyvern eggs and dragon eggs will become fossilized. Then you can take them to specialists who will polish them and sometimes even add embellishments and sell them to rich people for huge sums.
I take the egg.
Yes, you take it. It weighs about 8 pounds. Not too heavy, not too light. But it's sturdy. It doesn't feel like you're holding an egg. It feels like you're holding a rock.
Okay. I still want to I guess I'll take my captain's coat and kind of wrap the egg in that, and then put it in my backpack, just in case it's, fragile. I mean, stones can crack too.
Sure. Yeah, you secure it in your bag, all nice and wrapped and cozy, and you've got a wyvern egg.
I hope this doesn't come back to bite me.
Literally.
Quite.
Do you continue to investigate around the chamber a bit?
Absolutely.
As you saw a few more things. Roll investigation.
No. 9.
17.
Yeah, between you two, you guys find a few more things. It looks like there's still some trinkets and such left over from when this wyvern lived here. You find, in total, you find a small, unadorned gold ring. You find a couple pieces of random silver jewelry, some trinkets, and just small brooches and such. Nothing too spectacular, but just small shiny things. The wyvern wouldn't have been able to tell value or not. Just is it shiny? And
Sounds like a raccoon.
Yeah, and you do find other somewhat broken weapons and stuff, and rusty armor, but none of it appears almost of any value to be of any value at all.
We'll take the trinkets and then we'll take them back to the ship and then figure the rest out later.
Yeah. So you come away with a few treasures, and I was going to send the first. Okay, so this is where you are right now. That large chamber on the upper right is the wyvern nest, and in the far wall of this there is a small opening where the cave continues, but much narrower.
Okay.
You continue into there, squeezing into this much smaller passage. It's a winding tunnel. The walls here are rough. There are still some smaller stalactites hanging down, but the ceiling of it is only about 20 feet above you, whereas it was much higher before. And yeah, you're walking through here. Anything you guys are doing on the way?
Checking for traps.
Make an investigation roll for this area.
$18.
You're confident that there are no traps. Doesn't look like an area that any person has lived in for a very, very long time.
So I turn to them and say, I'm confident there's no traps here.
Good.
Not that we'd expect there to be any here, because, no people, but still.
And Mirwin, what are you doing?
I want to look around for anything interesting.
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Oh, good.
22.
Ooh, okay. So as you guys go down this larger chamber, as you enter sort of the second half of it, Mirwin, you recognize that there are in the walls, there are a few veins of what you recognize to be amethyst.
Ooh, pretty.
That are there are a few of them running around in the walls there, that if you had the means, you could harvest them.
I have a crowbar.
I have smith tools. I don't know what's all involved in.
I want to hit the amethyst and see if any breaks off with the crowbar.
Hitting it with a crowbar? Yeah. Make a... Dang, what would be a good check to mine something?
Strength or athletics, probably. I'm thinking.
Yeah, make a strength check.
Now, is it strength or athletics?
Make strength, because you're not really doing anything athletic.
So I have a +2 in athletics, and I have a -1 in strength.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine.
He doesn't do well. I'm gonna take the crowbar from his hands and do it myself.
do stuff anyway. I rolled an 11.
Yeah, that's not bad. You kind of wrench in there and kind of make like a like a makeshift pickaxe out of it, and you wedge it in there good enough that you wrench a chunk of it free, and it falls down. And you see in there are sparkling amethyst.
Oh, pretty.
I'll take it and put it in my bag. And hand the crowbar to Mir. When you want to give it a try?
Yeah, sure.
Mir, when you have advantage on it because you're a stoneworker, or well, you have stone cunning and such.
Mighty underground people.
Hold on. I was looking at something and then I forgot to go back to my character. What am I doing? Strength check?
Aye, strength with advantage.
$20, not natural.
You are able to functionally make this a very effective pickaxe, and you get two chunks, each about the size of Worth's, that look very promising to get some good amethyst out of.
I put them in my bag.
And you've carved out the best looking amethyst in the area.
Okay. I guess I should also be on the lookout for the stuff we're actually in here for.
Yes, you. He said it was a gold-hued stone of some sort, an ore that grows in the walls.
I look, following the ore that's there. We see the amethyst. I want to look around for that.
Oh, yeah, you make another investigation check then.
Ooh, a total of 20.
You see some trace sparklings of gold, but you can tell it's not the ore. It's just maybe some very trace elements of it, but it's not. None of it is substantially here.
All right, let's keep moving forward then.
You continue on. Flip to my map. Reaching the curving part, you curve down. You curve to the right at the end of this, and you come in to a much larger, more open chamber, and it is. What you see here is it looks like an egg, but it's a huge open chamber. The ceiling is much higher here, almost as high as in the former wyvern nest. But the main feature of this is this huge sinkhole in the center. And you hear the rushing of water, and you as if there's water below.
I want to smell, is it fresh water or salt water?
It smells fresh.
Interesting.
And go ahead and make a nature check to get a little more information on that.
This many. I got 5.
Yeah,
I got 6.
it doesn't smell like ocean water. That's all you get from it, really.
Okay. Hey, I don't think that's ocean. That's not seawater. That's fresh water, I think. I wonder, where in the world would it be coming from? There's not a whole lot of land around here for there to be rivers.
Mealy, where would this water be coming from?
These sorts of isles can have underground water systems, even this close to the ocean. It's very strange. The ecosystems of these are marvelous, magnificent sometimes. I think that maybe what we have here is a small underground freshwater ecosystem They're rare, but they can happen.
Incredible.
And so you kind of get closer to the lip of this sinkhole,
Yeah,
and
I
it's
try not to
just
get too close.
like, yeah, it's just kind of like straight down and dark.
I want to look around and at the. Well, I guess first I want to look down in the sinkhole and see if there's anything down there.
Yeah, go ahead and check down there and make a perception check.
Total of 20.
There's definitely a lake down there, and possibly, and you hear enough echoes that you can tell there's a lake. It's probably a pretty good sized chamber, and you can get the sense that there may be a couple of paths branching out. You can additional tunnels down there. And because this room that you're in now is completely sealed off, what you see in the picture there is actually slight spoiler. It is the paths that are down below, and it's about 40 feet. This drop between where you are and where the lake down there is. It's about 40 feet from here to there.
Are there any stalagmites around on the level we're at?
No, it seemed as if it would be safe. You didn't see any stalagmites like poking up out of the lake.
No, I mean like on the level we're at, so I can tie a rope around it and drop ourselves down.
We can tie a rope to.
Yeah, I'll say that there are a few stalactites fairly close around the lip of this thing, or stalagmites.
I was about ready to correct you. Excuse me, those are stalagmites.
Actually,
DM. Okay, but before we go down, I want to look around the walls here for pretty gold stuff.
Yes, investigate. Make an
I want
investigation.
you too.
12.
I rolled a natural one.
You don't see anything. Even if there were here, you wouldn't be able to tell. And in fact, Mirwin, you don't see really anything of interest in the whole chamber. You kind of lose interest in it.
The last one. She ate the last gummy bear.
The last gummy. Terrible.
I'm glad Nick didn't see that. Anyway. Okay then. You guys think we should go down there? Because I think we should go down there.
It looks lovely. In fact, says Mealy, and she dives off the edge and whoosh, down into the water below, and you hear that splash.
Well, I guess
she looks back up at you. Oh, that is cold, but very nice. You hear her voice echoes up through the sinkhole and all the chambers you're in.
Do you see anything down there? You know, pathways, land?
Yeah, there's a couple of passages. One over there and one over there.
I look over to Mary and, well, I guess I could see why Kenwick likes her.
You mean thicket?
Whatever, same thing.
Well, Kenwick might too, but I'm going to tie my rope off so I can.
Yeah, you make a knot. You get a solid tie off on a pretty sturdy looking stalagmite, and you kind of let yourself down over and slide down the rope. And you're unable to get to any sort of land from where you are, so you're just kind of hovering over the water on the rope.
Of course. Mirwin, I yell down. Can you swim?
I think so.
If you want to try to you can make an athletics check if you'd like to try to swing the rope and get to the other side.
I will do that.
Won't be easy, but you can try.
Woo! Natural 20.
Oh yeah. So Warith, you watch the little dwarf on like a pendulum on this thing down there, kicks several times, gains a whole bunch of momentum, and like launches herself with a backflip
I was gonna do a backflip.
onto the solid ground, past the underground lake.
I call up, Warith, it's your turn.
Mealy sort of congratulates you.
Thank you, thank
That
you.
was very well done.
I will now climb down the rope, and I will try to swing over as well.
Yes, athletics.
18.
You do it as well. Very fluidly, but not quite as spectacularly. But you too make your landing over there on the shore.
Show off.
Anything you can do, I can also maybe accomplish.
Mealy has come onto the shore near you guys too. You are on the thing here. You are just to the left of the that large pond, and you see now there is that passage to the north and a passage to the south.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what those are. Just the bottom level continuation of the cave. One going north and one path going south.
Which
way do you think?
South.
Yeah, it works.
As good of a way as any.
Also, it's like, yeah, let's go that way.
Okay. So you walk in through that narrowing.
Also looking for pretty gold stuff.
Make an investigation check.
Gold.
And natural 1, baby.
You see no such thing here. Not really anything of interest.
I rolled an 8.
An 8? You really don't see anything either. You perceive a few of those small, like, gold flecked rocks, but it's definitely not an ore.
This place sucks. I look around because I can't see anything.
This place sucks.
Neely, do you see anything?
You hear the echo come back. You suck.
Mealy takes a minute, looks around a little bit. I don't think there's any of it right here. Perhaps it's a bit further on into the cave.
Hope so.
Okay.
As we walk on, I want to ask Mealy. So. Thicket likes you.
Yes.
I mean,
I do.
You're pretty smart, and
I do
you
know
have
that.
to be pretty dumb not to realize that.
You would really. He's not nearly as subtle as he thinks he is.
No.
Oh, but he's fun.
Yeah. So I was curious, not that I would ever interfere. I was curious if you had any feelings for him.
Oh, Thicket and I have known each other a very long time. And even back before... How well do you know Thicket?
Oh, I suppose not all that well. We've spent a few nights at his house, and he's taken pretty good care of us, but we've only known him a week or two.
Thicket is lovely. We've known each other a long time, even back before... I don't know if it's my place to say.
Who were we going to tell?
Thicket. The Thicket had a loved one that he lost. I just don't feel like it's my place to. He lost his fiancée. He was betrothed to one of our one from our village, from Yanma, and she passed. It was unexpected and sudden, and Thicket has been alone ever since. And I don't know. I feel so bad for him sometimes. We've been friends. We've been friends for so long, and not. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that I'm don't like him. It's just I don't know. I wouldn't want to hurt him like he was already hurt, and I'm always off traveling, and I don't know. It's hard to.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't want to. I don't want him to become attached to me, or maybe I do, or maybe I just don't want to hurt him. So I sort of withdraw sometimes, even though I know he's quite fond of me. It's a bit weird to talk about, but that's how it is.
Hmm.
The poor guy's been through so much.
Yeah, that would be rough.
But now, I suppose I haven't even had a moment to think now. Who knows what it's like even back home? What happened? Ovae is gone. I shudder to think if they had gotten into the Isles d'Aure, what could have happened to our home?
Yes.
I don't think they got in there, but I fear. The Firbolgan giants summoned a mighty army, but they faced a mighty army as well. And I have been worried about their fate ever since we left Ovae that day.
As have I.
That is why Thicket and I must go as soon as it is safe, because we need to see to the safety of the sacred forest. And I don't know. It's possible that through all this, and at the end of it, maybe things have changed enough that Thicket and I and things will work out differently than I thought before. Maybe this will change me. Maybe this will change him. Maybe this will change circumstances. Only one way to find out.
Yes. But for what it's worth, I don't know how you feel about him. It's really none of my business anyway. But no circumstances are ever going to be perfect or ideal. And you never completely get over losing someone like that. But that doesn't mean he should stop living his life. To do so would mean he died a long time ago.
She looks very thoughtful at this. You know, I have not thought about it that way. What if, you know, I feel as if he holds himself back from living sometimes. And perhaps I have too. Just for fearing for the future. Prevented myself and him from living in the now. I will think on what you said. She gets a little bit quieter and continues walking.
Worth is quite pleased with himself. He thinks he's made a profound impact and really spoken some words of wisdom to this lady, this poor innocent girl.
Worth a smooth talker.
That doesn't make him right, ever. It just makes him smooth.
So the southern passage that you took, you are coming down nearer to the end of it now. Are you checking for anything as you are going and talking and all that?
Yeah, I want to look for whole things we could have stepped in and also sparkles.
Sure, make an investigation check, both you guys, for this leg of the journey, this passage.
23.
20, not natural.
You come upon your first piece of this ore. You can definitely tell, especially Mirwan, that there's in the ceiling above you, there is a protruding rock that's got a little bit of a shining, almost pulsating, wavering gold to some of the veins in it. And yeah, you can definitely tell that that is
How high above us is it?
only about a couple feet above your head, but a bit too high for Mirwan to reach.
So probably right at head height for Mealy.
Yes, it is.
Hey, Mealy,
Oh, look.
look.
It's beautiful.
I point at the stairs.
That's got to be it.
I can't reach it.
Have that bar. Immediately, ching, 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 crunch. She mines out a nice piece of it. It clunks to the ground, and there's even more of it on the inside. And it's a nice chunk of this golden ore that apparently is quite attractive to juvenile krakens.
Makes me think of those lures they use that for bass that have like the shiny bits on them.
Yeah, it's basically like that.
It's a spinner bit or spinner lure. Okay, I guess we're gonna need more.
Yes, as much as we can find. Continuing on, this cave begins to narrow and form into a straight hallway. Definitely not natural.
Oh crap! I pull my rapier out.
Yes. And this straight hallway begins to close into what you can see are stone bricks, definitely carved this area. And there's a door.
You know, I've really had enough of dungeons. I look over to Mealy.
I know. I didn't want to see anymore.
Vault of Ages, you're not missing it at all?
No, I think I'm having flashbacks. I've got some sort of post-traumatic horrors that
Yeah, this is definitely not natural cave formations. Whatever we do please watch out for bloodvine.
Yes, we don't need to go through all
The
this.
very last thing that we would want to happen is for there to be another infection amongst us.
I now check for bloodvine.
Yes, roll investigation for this area.
I want to specifically look around the door for
Sure.
spores and things.
Definitely, you've learned your lesson after that one time. Roll investigation.
I rolled a 7.
I rolled 6.
You see no bloodvine. You see no spores or traps or anything that looks too dangerous. The door has a pull handle on it, and there doesn't appear to be a lock, but it's closed, and the hinges on it are rusted and kind of grown over with various lichens and such.
I want to, I guess, open the door very carefully and try to peek inside.
Make a strength check.
Oh, where's Spew when you need him?
If you were here, I would open the door on him and just like, ha! What's in there? All right, strength. Oh, 5.
Oh man, you get up there and the door is very much rusted, and you are unable to. You're not able to make it budge at all.
All right, my fine muscular ladies. One of you guys want to try this?
I push him out of the way and grab the door handle.
Be my guest, Mewen. Yeah, strength check this thing.
No, that's a strength saving throw.
Oh, what did I do?
You did a strength saving throw. You just need to hit them.
This one, sorry.
Hey, just a straight check.
Oh, well, that was better anyway. 21.
So Mirwan approaches, kind of puts a leg on the wall outside the jam, and bang, and the door flies open, and you deftly let go, and it bang, clangs against the stone of the hallway, and it's open, completely dark inside.
Well, don't I feel emasculated for it?
Well done, Muin.
Thank you. It's okay, Worth.
Yeah, it's okay. I am the woman now.
We'll find a lock or something you can pick, or maybe somebody's pocket you can pick.
Yeah. Worth is just now realizing he's with two women who are way stronger than he is. Either of them could kill him if they wanted to.
Okay. So you advance into the first room. It's dark, but with your lantern and your dark vision, you illuminate it. And basically what you have here is, it's a very well carved stone floor ceilings. And in this first room, there doesn't really appear to be much at all. You see another doorway in the far wall of it, about 10 feet away. Or a doorway with no door in it. It's just a passage, and blackness beyond, but it looks like there's a staircase heading down.
Okay, I want to check for trappy traps in here.
Sure, yeah. Roll investigation, check for any shenanigans.
In fact, I'm going to say that from now on. I'm checking for shenanigans.
Roll to check for shenanigans.
Shenanigan and hink checks.
I would like to roll a hink check.
The major hinks from this.
Major hink.
Off the chart. I rolled a 14.
Yeah, you can tell it's pretty safe.
Okay.
At least this room and the stairway beyond is pretty safe. And you proceed, and here's it is.
Oh, goodness sakes.
Surprise, you're in a dungeon again.
Well, we're going to be stuck in here for a week.
Let's hope not.
Is this where the third shard is? Wouldn't that be amazing?
It would.
Yeah, that'd be handy.
It would
Would
definitely
be
be amazing.
Bella, you cannot sit up here right now. I'm busy.
Let's hope we're not stuck here too long, or else,
You will die,
you will die.
Worth says with glee in his eye.
But he will not die on the road.
No, he would die in a. You will say that a lot.
He started it.
He did.
But no, he wouldn't die on the road. He would die in his cot of a horrific disease. That would be terrible.
Yeah.
No giggling.
Worth wouldn't be there to see it.
That's true. We got to make it back so I can. You know what? If anyone's going to kill that stupid idiot, it's going to be me.
Meowly rolls her eyes at you all.
This is what I have to put up with all the time.
And them two together. How have you done it for as long as you have?
I don't know.
I was telling Carrie the other day, we were talking about Bew and Wara, and I said, it's really just an amplification of Ian and I's relationship anyway already.
Fantasticalized.
Yes. Oh, well.
False.
So you go down this staircase. That's a descent of maybe 10 feet. It's fairly steep, maybe even closer to 15. And you exit into this dark hallway where you see to the right and left are very long, extremely dark hallways. And straight ahead of you, right across the hallway, there is another door. And the environment down here it's pretty damp, but very cold. It's frigid enough that you can see your breath in front of your
People
face.
say it was dank.
It's so dank. But it's different from the Vault of Ages in that you don't see that much. You don't see that much like life or bioluminescence quite.
Or Bloodvine.
Go ahead and make an investigation check for this first area.
18.
There's no blood vine around here, for sure, at least in this first area.
I rolled a 6.
And you were unable to tell. You don't see any, but you're not confident either way, really.
Okay,
So you step out in here. Do you go left, right, or straight?
I want to go straight.
Yeah, let's go straight.
Okay, so there's another identical door right across the way. And who's going to try and open it?
I
I'll
will.
look to the
Make
ladies
us-
this time.
Make a strength check, everyone.
I open the doors. 16.
Once again, this time it's a little easier even. Just wrench open this door. And as soon as you do, you hear of something inside.
I want to kind of peek in to see. Also, by the way, I have my sword drawn still.
Okay.
I want to see what is that. And like, it's another flipping mantle.
Make a perception check.
14.
Yeah, it's a dark mantle. At least one dark mantle.
I'm loading my crossbow.
Okay.
I look over at Mealy and ask her, so have you ever dealt with these things before?
I have never seen one. I've only heard of them.
We were attacked by them in the Vault of Ages. It was very unpleasant. Frankly, I just want to kill them this time.
Yeah. Do we go in, or how did you deal with them?
Wareth will go in and shoot it with his crossbow.
I'll shoot it from here, and then as they all, if there's more, they'll all race towards us, and then we can try to funnel them at this doorway.
Right. She kind of removes her warhammer.
Otherwise,
Shield.
they'll try to attach themselves to you and bite your head off.
Oh, that sounds not pleasant at all.
No, it's not.
So I load my crossbow, and can I see one? Can I get a clear shot of one of them?
Make a ranged attack with disadvantage, as this is kind of the first round of combat. A surprise round, because you're just peeking in, immediately shooting.
Ooh, natural 20.
All right, so you stick the front of your crossbow in, and you get a flash of it, and you're able to track it just perfectly, and you hear your bolt stick it somewhere in there. Go ahead and roll damage.
Um, 15.
Wow.
Very nice. Yeah, you can tell that it did. You can tell that it did a good piercing shot.
When you roll a natural 20, it does the crit for you.
It does indeed. New feature.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Also, do I get no? Because I was disadvantaged.
Yeah, no sneak.
Okay.
But you did get a hefty piercing shot on it. You heard it kind of like almost if it had pierced some of the membranes of its body. And at that, you hear at least a couple more.
As that happens, I put my crossbow down and pull my sword out.
Okay, and at this point, roll advantage. Or not advantage, initiative. My brain is definitely off tonight.
Close enough.
It's going to be a little bit of a rough session
18.
as far as that goes. 18. Make sure to add your bonuses.
That was with it.
Okay. 18 to. Okay.
This one? Yeah, I did. I have a natural 1. I do. This many.
This part will get edited out so I can say cheeseburgers and boobies.
Cheeseburgers and boobies.
But I wouldn't say that anyways.
True. We should change our backgrounds. We're in another dungeon.
Well, you changed.
Back to the dungeon.
Nobody else cares about it. I mean,
Rude.
it's on. Yeah. You remember how to use a mouse, right?
No.
Every time Carrie tries to use this laptop, she uses the trackpad, and I hate trackpads.
Okay. First, it is Mealy, who says, how are we going to even fight them from out here? Let me in.
Well, I mean, they'll come out. I would think they came out last time. All right, let's.
Mealy like steps you aside and barges into the room with her shield raised, and she steps and readies an action.
I guess I'll have to follow her then.
It is your.
I guess it's not my turn. Yeah.
No, that ends her turn, and it is your turn next, Worth.
Well, then I will go in and also ready in action to fight to stab the first thing I see that it is not one of us.
Okay, so that'll end your turn. The third turn is the mantles, and they're all gonna go together. First one is that injured one that comes. You see it out of the corner of your eye, and it flashes towards you, and you see your bolt like stuck through part of it, and it flashes towards you. And go ahead and make a ranged attack, as you were readying an attack.
Yeah, with my.
Okay, yeah, you catch sight of it. Go ahead and make the ranged attack.
Okay. Oh no, sorry, wrong button. Yeah, 11.
Ooh, 11 hits. Roll damage.
Yay. 5.
You get another bolt, and this one pierces it in a similar manner, and it flies off. It doesn't fall, but you can see you had 2 bolts piercing it in various different places along the mantle.
Can I now see how many mantles there are?
I'll let you use your bonus action to make a perception check.
Okay, that sounds reasonable. $18.
There's 2 more.
Okay.
And now his mantles will go. Another one, a second one, comes for you, Worth.
Of course.
It flashes out of the darkness, tentacles opening up.
Don't go after the tanky girls. Go after the shrimpy rogue.
Plus 3 is 14, 16. 2 hits.
I don't have my rapier out, do I?
No, you would need to use an action to get that back out.
Well, then
Since
that
you
hits.
just used that. Okay. That deals. So you take 6 bludgeoning damage, and it completely engulfs your head.
Well, I don't suppose I can use uncanny dodge to have the damage.
What are the rules on that?
I think it's when an attacker that you can see hits you with an attack, you can use your reaction to have the attacker's damage against you.
It's a dodge attack, though. I'm not actually sure.
Because this is more of a grapply grapple.
Yeah, it is a grapply grapple. Dang, I'm not 100% sure. Since it says dodge in it, and you're definitely not dodging.
Okay.
I would say that it probably doesn't have the damage in this case, because it uses crush on you. Basically, is a grapple attack, and it attaches to completely engulfs your head. You're blinded and unable to breathe while it is attached in this way. and it can't attack any other target while it is grappled to you. And you can make let's see, you can make a strength save to try and get out of it.
Do I have to wait till my turn, or can I do it now?
You can do it now, and then on each of your successive turns.
Nine.
Yeah, you grab it and tear at it, but its muscles, its muscly mantle form continues to, it grabs in your throat and blinds and chokes you. And
Okay. I want to be like,
a second one comes, and this one comes from Miali. You don't. I was gonna say you see it do this, but yeah, you don't see anything. It comes like cascading straight down from the ceiling. But Miali sidesteps and like pokes it with the butt of her hammer and steps back, and she will make an attack on it. She hits. And she gets a whack on one of them with her hammer, kind of like rupturing part of the mantle, and it goes skittering off, hovering away. And the last mantle will come, and this one is going to dart out and make for you, Mirwin. Does it 9, 10, 11, 12 hit?
No.
It goes like right over your head, like as seemingly having misjudged your height, and flutters off as well. And it is, in fact, your turn, Mirwin.
I'm going to attack the one that is on Worth's head.
yay for me.
Go ahead and make a melee attack.
Does a 22 hit?
It sure does, and you don't hit Warth even. Roll damage.
Thank you for not being mute.
4.
Okay.
Oh, and then I could do it again.
Second attack.
I don't have that.
Poor baby.
You got big damage dice, though.
13.
That also hits.
And another 4.
You get 2 quick strikes with your axe. They both carve like narrow gashes in it. Neither of them doing too much damage, but you do get a couple of slashes. One kind of going all the way up to its head, and the other one slashing across its body.
I tried.
Back up to the top. It's Miali, who is now also going to try and attack the one on your head. And she does get a whack on it, just uppercutting with her hammer just so it hits it and misses you. And she deals. Oh! So she swipes it and like scrapes it off your head with this blow of her hammer, and it you feel it just slurp up off of you, leaving like mucus, a trail of mucus on you, but it flies off dead. But you are unharmed.
Gross.
And it's your turn.
Okay. Where's the next one at? The last one? Or next to last one, I guess.
The other one, the one that you already wounded twice, is fluttering about 5 feet in front of you, just to the left of that thing in the middle of the room. You can't quite tell what it is yet. A raised
So there's only
stone.
2 in total?
Only 2 left.
Oh, yeah, because you killed.
There's the one outside engaged with Mirwin.
All right, okay.
or not engaged, but close enough to her. It flew past her.
I'll take my rapier and stab at this one.
All right, make an attack roll.
Stab it.
I stab at thee.
17.
Hits.
9 damage.
You knocked this one out. Very nice. You were attacking with your rapier?
Yeah.
So you like shing, did a leap forward and a stab straight through its head. And pulling back your rapier's dark blood flows out and it collapses dead to the floor.
Don't forget to pick up your bolts.
Yeah, I'll pick up my bolts out of it, I guess. Or we're still in combat. I'll do it after combat.
And it is down to the final one.
And technically, I still have my movement left, right?
You do, yes.
I will go over to Mirwin to assist her if I can get to do anything before my turn.
Yeah, you are able to use your movement. You get back out the door, where Mirwin is out near the entrance of the door, and you see the remaining dark mantle is out there about maybe 6 or 7 feet away from Mirwin, like turning to make its way back toward her. And with your movement, you could get all the way adjacent to it if you wanted to block it away.
No, because then it'll just attack me.
It would, yes.
I'll just wait till my turn and then move closer and attack it.
Okay. Okay. So it is the mantle's turn, and that last mantle is going to come back for you again, Mirwin. 1921.
Yes.
It goes for your head,
Ah!
and it schlorps your entire head in, dealing 5 bludgeoning damage, and
Rude.
blinded, completely blinded and unable to breathe. And you can make a strength save now, and basically right again since your turn is next. You can make strength save, like 2 strength saves in a row.
Okay.
One to end its turn and one to begin yours.
My first one was a 1.
Definitely does not take it. And-
My second one was a 19.
And on your second one, you get a little bit of leverage underneath one of its tentacles, and you rip it off, and you're unharmed, and it flies off a couple feet away from you. And now you can attack.
Does a 9 hit?
No, it does not. With your
Good.
first, you kind of reel a little bit as you're recovering from it getting ripped off your head, and you swing, and your axe slices the air just above its head.
Oh, and I got another 9.
And again, you try to come back and recover, but this time it kind of ducks a little bit out of the way, just dodging. And it's back to...
He was on my head, so now my head's all messed up and I can't concentrate.
And it's Mealy at the top of the initiative, who rushes back out and takes a whack at it with her hammer. And she too, it becomes a little slippery thing hovering around near the floor. And she smacks her hammer on the ground near it, but is unable to make contact. Wareth, it's your turn.
Oh, sweet. I will run at this thing and stab at it.
Indeed. Yeah, you're close, so go ahead and you're within melee range, so go ahead and make an attack roll.
$21.
That hits. Damage.
7. And
You
would
get
I
a
also get
slice.
sneak attack because it's engaged with Mirwin? And
Yes,
the girl?
you would indeed.
8.
Oh yeah. How do you want to do this? Why not?
I'm just gonna run it through, and then let it drop on the ground like a sorry sack of lunch meat.
Yeah, your blade pierces all the way through this vile creature and pull it back out, and it flops over. And the Dark Mantles have been defeated.
Hooray!
Yay!
So, now what you see as you enter this room without any distractions, there is in the center, there's a large raised platform of stone, and atop it, a darker area of stone in a circle, black stone next to gray stone, and it looks like it's a tomb. And it also there are 4 more, 2 on each side of this room. Not quite as elaborate, but also appear to be tombs.
Okay, I want to examine the center tomb more closely.
Yes, roll investigation.
14.
So the center tomb, it looks more important and slightly more lavish and elaborate than the others. There's that dark stone, which, as you examine a little further, it looks like it's made of some sort of like ebon, which is a different type of metal, commonly found Western Caswin. So it's stone and metal. And there's also some scroll work around the lip of the tomb in the same metal.
Okay. Any words?
You can't really tell. There are no words, no inscriptions. It's hard to tell what culture it's from or anything like that. But that's what you see.
I would like to go investigate the ones over to the right.
Yes, certainly. Make a check. Investigation.
21.
Okay. So you go about to these, and what you see is you get the sense that there is only one person buried in this room, and he's in the center. Those other 4 coffins, you're pretty sure, are empty. At least empty of remains.
Are there any inscriptions or anything on?
There aren't. The rest of them are very plain. Just gray stone. No inscriptions, no stonework or no metalwork, as are in the center one, no ebon.
Are the so you said those 4 on the outside were coffins, like with a capstone on them?
Yeah, they're similar to the center one. The center one is just larger and more elaborate, but they're just stone boxes. There's capstones on all of them.
I kind of want to look inside, but I don't want to like desecrate someone's grave.
This is interesting, says Miele. Wonder who was buried here and for what reason.
Well,
while you deliberate that, let's take a quick break.
All right.
Okay, Sniffy DM is back. All right, what do you do?
I take my crowbar out and try to gently pry up the... Oh, wait, first I check for traps.
Make an investigation. Which one are you looking at?
Top right corner on our screen.
Okay, investigate.
I ask Mealy, are you still there? I ask Mealy if it's odd there is no inscription or anything.
Not necessarily. This could have been made by any number of cultures. It's certainly ancient.
22.
And their customs, I don't know what their funerary rites were like. It may be strange by our standards, but could be quite normal by theirs. There are no traps.
Okay, then. I want to try to gently pry up the capstone without breaking it or scraping and gouging.
Yeah, you get it under the lip of it. And slowly moves, and you're able to move it just enough to get some light into there. And what you see within the tomb is there's no one buried in there, but what there is a single skull, a human skull in the middle of it, surrounded by what look to be ancient remains of pieces of paper. There are even some scarce remnants of writing on them, but it's largely been eaten away by time. That's all you see in this one. Just a human skull facing directly towards the main tomb.
Of course. Okay, I close it and go on to the next one. The one just
Make
south.
an investigation check if you want to check for things.
I absolutely would like to
Check for shenanigans.
Six. Dang it.
This one, it's not so clear, but you don't see anything obvious.
Okay, I open that one too.
This one similarly opens without any trouble. In the middle of it, the same thing. It's a skull facing the center. Pieces of paper. Ancient. It's hard to tell what was written on them or what their use was, what they were on, but they're mostly disintegrated.
I look over to them and I'm like, I wonder if this was a skull when they put it in here, or if this was just a full flesh-covered human head.
It's hard to tell. Whatever this was seems to have been a nasty bit of business.
Yeah. I'll close it and move on to the bottom left. And before I'll also check for shenanigans there.
Okay.
Total of 20.
This one looks just exactly the same as the others. Nothing pretty much out of the way.
I open it.
It's the same scene, except the skull is pointed again towards the center tomb. Same desiccated paper.
Getting a bad feeling about all.
Yeah, this is weird.
But let's keep going. I close it, move on to the next one. And check for shenanigans. And I get a natural 20.
Definitely no shenanigans. It's safe to open.
I open.
It is the same. So you have discovered 4 skulls, all pointing to the center of the room, surrounded by ancient desiccated paper.
All right, then. I guess there's nothing left to do but open the main one.
I don't even think this is what we came here for, is it?
No, it isn't. But we've come this far, and this is also curious.
You get used to him. He has to loot everything.
Not trying to loot. I'm trying to figure out what this is and who they were.
But
and if there's people still around to.
But if you found something, you would take it.
Maybe. I check for shenanigans on the center one.
Make an investigation check.
Natural 20 again. Nice. Green revolution. Your interests at heart.
This one's trapped.
I want to disarm the trap.
So what you get, the sense of this is, you can tell that when you open it, there's some sort of mechanism on the inside that will be triggered, and you can tell that there is no way from the outside to disarm it.
Dang.
Because you looked so closely. You, with your expertise, are certain that there's no triggers on the outside. It's something on the inside that when the lip is pushed, it'll trip, and you're unsure. You can see that you can tell it's probably not anything explosive, but it could be some sort of poison or or physical trap released from the inside.
Spikes, falling, ceiling, boulders.
If you want to examine the rest of the room, you can look around. And since you rolled a natural 20, you can see from looking at the ceiling and the walls and the floor that there's no release mechanisms for any sort of spikes or any shenanigans from the walls or ceiling or floor or anything like that. It's something contained within.
I look at them and, well, this one's trapped. And there's no way to disarm it from the outside as far as I can tell. So if we were to open it, it would trigger and we'd have to deal with whatever happened. So
what if we opened it from a safe distance or something?
Well, there's no way to tell what it triggers.
Not that I want to open it at all, but
yeah, that's a possibility. We could nudge it and then run out of the room and see what happens. But honestly, it seems like everything would be contained within this tomb. But I mean, who knows? There could be something underneath this that it triggers and it goes somewhere else. It could lock us in.
Yeah. And then we'd never get to view on time.
Yeah, like you said, not all bad. I'm going to leave this, and maybe we'll come back to it, maybe.
Mirwin,
Yes?
That's what I was going to have you do. Make a nature check for me.
Nature check. Eh. 5.
Yeah. You agree with Warth's assessment. You don't really sense anything different about it than he did.
I rolled again and it was a 20.
Oh. Mealy kind of bends down and takes a look at it. She says, "Oh, I suppose I'm a bit curious too." Okay, so Mealy says, she bends down and kind of sniffs. And she says, "You smell that?" And now that she's pointed it out to you, Mirwin, you get a whiff of something that smells a little familiar.
What
She says,
that?
"It's a certain type of mushroom. It's poisonous. But there aren't any growing out here."
So it would have poisoned us.
But it's unmistakable. It's a mushroom that releases a poison spore when disturbed. A little puff. Very deadly if breathed in large quantities.
Does it make you see things? Is it that mushroom?
No, it's just the one that chokes you so you can't breathe, and then your airways are clogged up, and then you die.
The last time we encountered those mantles, right before we went in, there was a puff of mushroom spores, and Mirren tried to kill me.
True.
Really? Did it make you?
Yeah, she hallucinated that I was one of those riders trying to kill Vissa.
That's horrible.
It was very real.
That's good that you didn't succeed.
I know.
Well, anyway, there are definitely some of those mushrooms in this very tight space here somewhere, but they're not outside, so they are inside. So my guess is that when you push it, and it'll somehow disturb the mushrooms, and it will make a bunch of puffs.
Is there an antidote for it?
Yes, but we don't have any. But once the mushroom makes its puff, it goes away in about a minute. As long as you don't continue to smack it.
In theory, we could nudge this, let it disperse, leave, and then come back.
Do you have any sort of long pokey?
I have a halberd.
That could work.
Or a javelin.
Yeah, I don't
way.
have anything like that.
The javelin's slightly longer.
Yeah. Who has the longest arms?
Not
I do.
me or you.
Look at my arms, they're very long. I'm so much taller than either of you. Do you want to attempt to use the javelin? I could push it.
Yeah, we could do that.
Okay, get behind me then and hold your breath.
And I'll stay back further in case you guys feel I can drag you out.
Okay, thank you. Just make sure you're not breathe in.
I go back to the doorway.
Amelie takes the javelin, affixes it at the lip, gives it a shove, and you see as it begins to move, it gets a few inches, and then you see this poof of green spores fly up in the air, and there's a little bit of bioluminescence up from within. And Amelie pulls back, holding her breath, and you're out of the room, just looking in at this faint green glow and these spores wafting up to the in the air. About a minute passes and their luminescence is gone, and the luminescence from within the box fades as well. She says, "Still keep your face covered, but they're gone, inert now. You can look in, but definitely don't touch the spores, or don't touch the mushrooms."
I use my edgy rogue mask.
So
Yeah.
edgy.
You edgily edge up to the box. This would all go so much quicker if I didn't have to breathe. Within the box, there's a corpse, an ancient, important-looking body, and this is one of those that looks to have been buried with his valuables, because there are a few things around it. He may have been some sort of a chief or lord of the Isles, perhaps. But around him, you see a few things. You see a pair of like golden armbands. There are a couple of bracelets of bronze and silver. There is a very striking looking hairpin that's kind of collapsed next to where there used to be hair. It looks like it's made of bone of some sort, and it is carved very finely in the shape of a dragon. And in the eye of the dragon, there is a tiny little garnet red. It's a beautiful piece of work. And that's all you see in this one. There are also, strangely enough, many pieces of paper, like as if they were coated and laid over the body to put it to rest, but also completely destroyed with time, just like the ones in those other tombs.
Worth wants to loot the body, but he's also aware that there's a new person with him, and he doesn't want to look bad. So he doesn't loot it.
Mia
Wow.
looks at you guys. She says, "I can tell that you would like to take some treasure. We are not in the sacred forest. I'm out in the world at large. We're not even on the Isle of Giants. I'm not to impose anything upon you. This is ancient. No one comes here or has. It is up to you if you wish to take from it. I will certainly not tell you either way, or nor judge, nor bring any retribution upon you. We're not in my land."
I have to be like, in my mind, I'm like, oh, I don't want to take any of this. This is, he's been buried. But at the same time, I'm like, well, Worth doesn't give a crap about that.
True. Why don't you try to slide a hat to try to get it without her noticing. Something.
No, I just take the stuff now. I look at her, I make eye contact, I don't break eye contact, I take the things out of the box, put them in my bag, and then I walk away.
Can we tell what kind of corpse this is, if it's a human or humanoid?
Make a nature check.
12.
7.
It's humanoid. It's hard to tell if it's a human or an elf or a half elf. It's definitely not. It's not an Ezid, in case you were wondering. It's not an Ezid. It's
Not an Ezid or giant or.
nope, not giant, not
Definitely not
Furbolg.
All right then.
And you hear Meoli laugh just slightly as you turn away. Just kind of whatever. Let him do what he does. I might not agree with it, but it's his thing.
I have to remember, Worth's a jerk.
Your character.
Uh,
All right.
but it's
Where
too
do
hard
you
for
head
me
to
to do that.
next?
So let's go back out.
Go to the left.
Left, yeah. Let's go left.
You head to the left, and you go down the hallway to where you come across 2 more of those same style of tombs.
I check for shenanigans first. And
I'll let you make.
foremost.
I'll let you make one check for both of the tombs.
21.
Neither of them are trapped.
I open them.
You go to one, and then the other, and you find the same scene in both. One skull. Each of these skulls is additionally pointed in the direction of that main one that you were already at.
I'm detecting some major ink in here.
But empty except for the skull and the ancient paper.
Okay. Keep going. Keep going.
And let's see, you
Hour left.
Our left. So
Oh, okay.
there's the room with the 4 dots.
Yeah, okay. So there's actually there's the third. There's a third. I didn't draw it on the other side accidentally, but there is the third one as well, and I'll let that check extend to that one. It is the same deal. Skull, paper, no traps.
This is dumb. Why are these people doing this crap? They must have really loved that guy in the middle.
Continue down the hallway.
The rest of that hallway, you get into this larger chamber. In this one, there are a few banks of bioluminescent mushrooms glowing blue, illuminating another central tomb that's large like the first one. And then there is a smaller room just off of it in which there are 2 more casks or tombs, casket tombs.
I want to check for traps in this room in general.
Yes, investigation.
And I rolled a 14.
You kind of look through. You don't see any again. You don't see any places in the ceiling or floor where any crazy shenanigans could happen. So that's the main room. It seems to be safe.
Okay. I want to go to the room with the larger room off to our right.
Sure. You go in there, and there are the 2 tombs. You want to make a check for those guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, investigation.
15.
They're both safe. And within, it's the same thing, except the skulls on these are facing the center of this room toward the fancy tomb in there.
I go across to the other one, the single tomb.
Investigation.
16.
This one's trapped.
Just like before, it looks like it's all from the inside.
This one, as you run your hands along it, on the back, there's a strange sort of protruding thing.
Okay. Can I disarm the trap for this thing?
Make a check with your thieves' tools.
What would I...
Or you can roll sleight of hand for that, I think.
While he's doing that, what are those 4 things? Are those pillars?
Yes, they are pillars running from floor to ceiling. All of them are made of a black stone.
17.
So, you get around back, and you pull out this. Basically, what you see is that it is a. How to describe it? It's holding the. It's a little disc-like thing that's holding the lid just slightly open. That, like, if you had just pulled it out and it would have set something off. But you're able to get like a tool in there, extract the thing, and now slowly set that down so it didn't trigger the pump plate that if it had slammed down on it, it would have triggered some sort of reaction. But you have successfully disarmed it.
Hooray. Now I open it.
All right, you carefully shove it aside. And in here it is exactly the same. Just the skull, but it looks like this one was put here to test whoever might be going through the tombs, and
If they
the
get
skull
lazy.
and the skull in here is facing directly toward the middle.
Okay. I want to check for traps on the main one.
It's roll investigation.
21.
Yeah, it's trapped in exactly the same way as the one in the other main chamber was trapped.
All right then. Shall we?
Javelin. Behind me, everyone. Up come the spores. They light up a plume of green and flicker out, becoming inert within a minute.
As we sit there and wait, I ask Mealy, so how old are you?
Me? I'm only 130.
Oh, only.
Only.
I think it's 145.
I'm
So-
21.
Are you? That is very, very young.
I'm 200.
200. Well, we have the grown-up in the room here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Older than I am.
I'm
Thicket.
the responsible one.
I
Don't
suppose
want
so.
None of your shenanigans.
I like to think I'm responsible, but sometimes I don't know. I was a bit of perhaps a wild card among the Furbolg, but that's a story for another time.
I remember back when I was 130.
What was it like?
Did they have wheels back in your day?
Yes,
Had they invented wheels yet?
They had wheels. We
They
had to,
discovered fire?
but we had to push our wheels uphill
Both ways.
both ways
Uphill.
everywhere we went. In the snow.
It's in the sacred forest, though. It's I think we age more slowly, and not. I don't know. I don't mean physically. I mean, we mature at around age 30, but after that, it's as if we remain in childhood for a long time, mentally. Not that we're. I don't know exactly how to communicate. What I mean to people, to small folk, who aren't from the forest, but we don't
Well,
lose our idealism for a long time.
perhaps I don't understand fully, but it would seem that in an environment like that, you protected from the sterile hostility of the rest of the world, one could remain innocent for longer.
That's more along the lines of what I mean. We don't become truly old for very long. Ah, well. Let's see what's in here.
Yes.
Within this tomb, there is another similar-looking gentleman.
Humanoid?
There are a humanoid. Sorry. You can make a check for this one.
What kind of investigation?
Yeah, to determine, or nature. I would say to determine species.
19.
This one is definitely an orc.
Orc. Well, let's not tell Valdemar about this.
It's slightly larger, the skeleton, than the other one, but still humanoid. But yeah, you can tell it's an orc. And within the tomb, along with the ancient paper, there are a few silver bars, about that big. There are about 6 of them, just scattered about. There are several nice-looking brown jasper stones. There is a book that, strangely enough, is not decayed. And does anyone read ancient Orcish?
No.
Probably not.
You don't know what the book says or what it's about, but there's a book in ancient in an archaic Orcish script.
Maybe Brecken knows.
Oh, he's not with you, unfortunately.
I only read Alphonic, Dwarvish, Elvish, and Thieves' Cant. Although, if I'd known we were going to get a dwarf, I probably wouldn't have picked Dwarvish.
And there is also a small jar about yay big. Within there is a preserved mushroom. It's gray with pale red veins running up and down the cap, sealed with wax.
Do I recognize what kind of mushroom it is?
Make a nature check with
I want to do
disadvantage.
that too.
Disadvantage?
Yeah, both of you make a nature check. Mirwin, you don't have disadvantage.
13.
That was better than mine. 7.
Yeah, neither of you know what kind of mushroom it is.
Mealy, do you know what this is? You're smart.
She picks up the vial, examines it. It's not like anything I've seen from the forest or on the isle. This must be some sort of strange mushroom native to somewhere else, Vedran Isles, perhaps.
I will take all of the things, but not the book.
Okay.
You don't want to take the book?
What if the book says something, this was where the dead guy was, the famous orc king, and Valdemar sees it and be like, oh, you desecrated the remains, and then he kills me.
It's a fair concern.
Yep. I close unless you want to take it. I close the tomb then.
I don't want Voldemort to.
So,
It's Valdemar. Valdemar Adlich, Master Gunner.
I don't want him to. He's big.
It is at this point that you hear a slight shuffling sound, almost like a stone moving up stone against stone.
Oh, crap. Where is it coming from?
Ahead of you.
Okay.
Great.
We look that way, and I go towards the doorway.
Passing through the next doorway, your lamplight shines in the interior of this next larger chamber, and you see the strangest thing in the middle of the room. This huge, like maybe 5-ish foot high, almost domed shaped, rough boulder. And around it, you don't see any other small tombs, but on the other side of it, you can see a slightly raised platform where there are 2 more tombs.
Okay.
What do you do?
I poke at the boulder
You just walk right up and poke it?
with my sword from a distance.
You're not going to
Okay.
check for traps?
Oh, well, that was kind of the point of it. I mean,
Oh, okay.
is this thing is it gonna explode on me? What is this?
I'll let you do the first thing you did. You go up to this rock, poke, poke, poke. It's very stony, and when you poke it, it shifts and goes, and it rises up into this huge monstrous shape, and it's a rock troll.
Of course it is.
It looks like this. And its back just hulking camouflage boulder just
Look what you did,
rugged,
Boris.
gets up and it's like
I take a step back.
menaces all of you and roll initiative.
The one time you don't investigate.
It was a rock.
18.
I didn't try to walk over it.
What was your initiative score?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
14. I think that's now.
All right. This big old rock troll just hulkingly roars at all of you and begins to rear back. And before we fight, my dog is whining and I think he needs to pee. Let's take a quick pause.
Be goofball, I just said that. Oh, for goodness sakes.
Kid not proud, scream revolution. Have not your interests at heart. Sorry. My dog speaks more eloquently than thee. Strangely, your main just the same.
I don't think we're getting out of this dungeon.
Ah! I never thought that was going to be the case. Revolution.
I'm sleepy.
Hi, James. Good to see you.
Yeah,
Sitting
no,
at
that
the
guy.
computer, probably drinking stuff, playing on your phone while you listen to this. Just remember, I hope you like your phone, because you probably have it by now. That's probably been a while ago. And now you're thinking like, ooh, I got a new phone. I forgot about that. That was like 2 months ago. I hope you haven't broken it already. I hope there wasn't like something crazy that happened where you broke your old phone before you sent it in. Don't do something stupid. Hope the new phone is okay too. And hope you stop feeling bad about spending all the money. I haven't stopped feeling bad about spending all my money for that phone.
Amberg.
Hey.
Okay. All right, initiative has been rolled. All right. First up is the troll.
Of course.
He right off the bat. And he, who had been napping peacefully, looks down in absolute fury at you, Orith, for having awakened him. And he brings the big claw down at you. And does an 26 hit.
Yep. I would like to have the damage though.
Yeah, he does. He deals 14. He deals 14 bludgeoning damage to you with a claw, which you can reduce to 7. And he will take a second attack. Where are you, Mirwin, in relation to him?
I was probably right behind Warith.
Okay.
Because he had to go poke at it.
There's a big rock in the way. What would you have done?
Climbed it.
Yeah, with its second attack, it kind of bends down. It's gonna you see its jaws, like its yawning jaw. It's coming toward it, like to take a bite out of you, Worth. 21.
Yeah.
He's got a big bonus.
I would like to use my reaction. Oh, I guess I can't do that again, can I?
I know. This time he deals 12 more bludgeoning damage against you as he takes this bite and like kind of throws you around a bit. Next, it is Mirwin.
I am going to go into a rage because I'm angry.
Barbarian Rage.
You wouldn't like her when she's angry.
Does 16 hit?
Is this with your second attack? You're moving up and making your attack after you raged. 16 does hit.
I hit the wrong button.
I see that.
Too many buttons. 6.
6. You get a good slash with your axe. It carves into one of its legs, and when you hit it, there's a scraping sound, and you see there's a little gash left behind, but its stony flesh is still very tough. Its hide is definitely integrated with some of its stony features, and it looks very tough. But you did do some damage to it, and it goes begins to attempt to attack its next time. And Mealy, meanwhile, Warth is next, and then Mealy.
Now that I am down to half health already,
Who are you?
I get to use the Warden's Helm for the first time. On once per short rest, when you are reduced to half your hit points. As an action, you can summon the Essence of Face Steel to bring forth a brilliant light emanating from the helm, causing all targets within melee range to be automatically pushed back 15 feet away from you and heal yourself 1d8 damage.
Oh yeah, so you use that?
I do that.
There's no save, so automatically you just there's this bright light that bursts forth from the helm, and the troll is this blast of energy shoves him back 15 feet. So there's this gulf of space between you and him, and he's shoved back.
Wow. Impressive.
And is that an action or a bonus action? I can't remember what I wrote for that.
Hold on, I'm doing the health thing first because that was.
If I didn't write, I'll tell you what it is right now. Oops.
As an action.
As an action, yep. So that's your action for this turn, but you're healed and he is shoved away.
Okay. For my movement, I would like to back up between, Xena and She-Hulk here.
Yeah, you can do that.
Behind them.
You back up, and then this is Mealy who fearlessly charges in at it, and a big overhand with her warhammer. Oh, dang. 4, 6. Oof, man. And you see her, she leaps and gets a big knock on it, and there's a as he gets shoved and cracking sound. But like even that, her warhammer like seems to bounce back, and he takes. And it's back to Mirwin.
I'm going to run up and hit him. Maybe.
Right.
Does a 10 hit?
Does not hit.
Then I'm going to do it again. Does a 19 hit?
That does hit.
Right.
Roll some damage.
Ooh. 13.
Whew.
Max damage.
Lido. Good for you.
Very nice. So you first strike, the steel of your axe just clangs off some of its stony exoskeleton. But with your second, you swing up and you actually feel it get into some of the flesh of its inside, less protected areas. And there's this gash that opens up, and a little bit of its ichor starts pouring out. And it just does that. End your turn.
Yeah.
It's back to Worth. Oh, no, Troll. Wait, Troll went.
Did he? Okay.
No, Troll did not go.
No, he didn't go.
No, Troll will go, but he will attack Mealy because she was the only one adjacent when he went up. My brain is full of allergies tonight. So with he first takes a swipe at Mealy, and she like interposes her warhammer, and his arm goes off and misses. And he comes back, and this time she ducks straight out of the way of his rebound claw attack. And he misses both on her.
Good.
Now it's Warith's turn.
Warith is gonna use the sigil of the Seekers.
Cast Chaos Bolt.
Yeah. So,
All right, so you roll 2d8. First roll 1d8 and just tell me what type of damage it comes out.
Okay.
And then roll your damage dice.
4. So that is 4 is that what's that one? Oh, there's the other two. Force.
Force damage. Okay, so does this spell require a save on his part? I don't think it does.
Nope.
Okay, so it's just a spell attack on your part?
Yes.
Okay, roll that spell attack.
Okay, so just a d20 for one.
Yep.
This calls for an actual d20. 16, 19.
That's a hit.
Yeah.
Roll that damage. 2d8 and 1d6, I believe.
The 2d, so that's 9 from the d6. I mean, from the d8. And then 1d6 is 3. So 12.
12.
Oh, he's not resistant to that either.
Yay.
So, Warith, you tap into the power of the essence that you've been learning that is focused within the brooch. And you feel the same feeling that you did the other day aboard the ship. This time you try to trigger it intentionally. And you stretch out your hand and you feel this rising force in it. And out of your hand rockets this undulating, warbling mass of chaos energy that's just like darkness and light interposed, and this bolt of it just flies out and strikes the troll in the chest, and you see the smoldering mark of where it is caved in and used such force on it, and the troll is visibly stunned and pained by it, and you draw your hand back, and you see a little fumes of smoke coming off of it. That's a good spell to use against him
Wow.
Too. Great.
Immediately looks like impressive. And does that end your turn?
I believe so, because
You've got movement if you want to use it.
nope. As long as I'm staying out of his melee range, so I'm gonna stay here.
It's Miali, who, inspired by your show of force, spins and delivers a hammer strike right to that area where you hit. Dealing him another good blow, piling on. Back up to the troll. And he'll take his first attack at Miali. And he swipes and misses her again, just in pain, causing him to miss, going just right over her head. But with his second attack, his other hand will come to pound at Mirwin. And that's a nat 20. Which will deal.
That doesn't hit.
That's 21. You take 24 bludgeoning damage.
The good thing I healed, because that 1d8, because if that had hit me, I'd have been out.
And if you're raging, you do reduce that by half.
Okay, I was.
Since it's bludgeoning, yep.
Yeah. So what did you say it was?
It was 24, so
24,
12.
so 12. Okay.
That's troll, and it's Mirwin again.
Well, that just made me angry.
Mirwin smash!
You wouldn't like her when she's angry.
I'm gonna hit him. First one is a 21.
Hit.
Hit hard, hit hard, hit hard, hit hard, hit hard.
Hit hard, hit hard.
And a 6 damage. And the second hit is a 20.
Also hit.
And 11 damage.
Very nice. You get a couple of solid strikes in, and you look like you kind of looks like you're getting the troll on the ropes now, as he's taking blow after blow, trying to strike back, and doing so with very limited success. Taking this bolt to the chest, a hammer strike, and an axe blow, and it's Worth's turn.
I will shoot him with my rapier. I will shoot him with my crossbow.
Ah, that's the one.
We were both
that's the one.
looking at you like.
Wonder when he was going to realize.
19.
Hits. Give me some damage.
11.
Ooh.
Max damage.
Very nice. You get a and was that with sneak?
Oh, plus
You get sneak.
yeah, because he's engaged, and then 10.
You get a bolt that pierces almost all the way up to the fletching in its chest, and it's stumbling around, waving, and it's nearly down, but it just holds on by a thread. And Miele comes in. And she slams with her warhammer, but only makes contact with the stony exoskeleton, and ping! It slaps her warhammer away, and it is back to the troll's last stand. And he's gonna take a big old swipe at you, Mirwin, with 2 attacks. First one's a 17.
Hits.
Second one's 24.
That doesn't hit.
First one, dealing in total. Dealing a total 14 bludgeoning damage to you.
And then halved.
Halved, so 7. And then it's back up to you, Mjorwin.
Does a 19 hit?
It does.
Nine damage.
Ooh, yep. How do you want to do this? You got him.
I'm so angry from him hitting me that I run up and I bury the axe in the middle of his chest.
Right in that same spot where James' face steel powered bolt hit, or Worth's, you leap with this axe over your head and straight in, you cave it through his chest, and he falls over backwards, taking your axe with him, and you hold onto the handle as he rolls onto his back and pull out the axe.
Yeah.
And you've defeated the rock troll.
I want to loot the body.
Yeah. Make an investigation check. See what kind of stuff you can pull off of it. Wow, that thing hit hard.
Mm-hmm.
6.
There's lots of rocky skin on it. There's the rocky skin on the outside. slightly softer hide on the inside. There's a a ton of undamaged hide still. If you want to take any of that, it's got fairly sharp teeth in its mouth. But other than that, there's not really too much that you find of value on it. It's not a troll that collects treasure or anything like that.
He doesn't have any treasure built into his rock, like
Nope.
the keepers.
No, he does not.
Just a troll.
No ore in the.
Just a big old gross troll.
I don't suppose troll hide is worth anything. Do I know if troll hide is worth anything?
Make a knowledge check.
Oh, I get it.
How do you do a knowledge check?
Just roll a d20 and add your knowledge bonus.
There's a knowledge bonus?
Yeah, what's your knowledge? Oh, intelligence. I'm sorry, I'm an idiot.
Knowledge was the other thing we did, that first RPG game.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, intelligence check. That's what I'm talking about. You don't actually know what you're supposed to roll to know the prices of things. You imagine that if you took it and got it worked with nicely at a tanner or somebody that knows what they're doing, that it could sell for something, but you don't know how much.
Meh, I'll leave it.
Yep. Whew. What do you guys do next?
I want to go to bed now. James wants to go to bed now.
James wants to go to bed. Well, and this is for the sake of expediency. Those last two tombs, you are able to loot them. They're trapped in a similar way, but you pokes with the javelin, gets both of them safe. You extract a few more silver bars from each of them. Exiting there, you go through the final door on the left side of the chamber there, and out into this final winding area where you find the ore in abundance.
Ooh.
You get plenty of pieces, and what actually you don't see past the let's see. Oh, I didn't even send that part yet. This last part. So this steadily rises as you go through it, eventually circling around and exiting up at a different point on the island, just in an outcropping of boulders. And you look over and you're actually not that far from maybe a few hundred yards from where you started. So you return to the giant, and he looks up and looks quite pleased at you having returned to him with your spoils. And he speaks with Miele and Giant, and she says, "We've got enough." And he beckons you, and he actually leads you to a small alcove on the opposite side of the island, where you find this purple seaweed growing in a shallow basin. You pick it, pack a lot of it. You fill up the basket almost halfway, and you return it to the Larkspur. And that's where we'll end tonight's session. Very good job, you guys. You found the delay to Bu's disease. Fought a rock troll. Yeah, this ain't the cure.
What if we had gone down the other hallway?
You didn't. You really want to know, though. There's not actually anything in any of those tombs, but if you did go out the other, if you went down the other stairway at the end, it goes down straight into water, and there was going to be a tentacle that came out and wrapped itself around your legs and tried to pull you in.
Nice. Would we have known if it was it a kraken?
No, it wasn't a kraken. Not that big.
Or a juvenile kraken, maybe?
Nah.
We thought we were going to be stuck in the dungeon for days and days.
Well, maybe not days and days, but maybe like a day.
Days. You got out. Good job with the dungeon, the mini dungeon, and you
Yes,
got a little bit of treasure.
Yes, I don't suppose you could text me or whatever the.
Yes, I
There's
will
lots of
send
different
it.
things.
I'll text it to the guild chat.
Yes, wonderful.
Chat. Very well done, you guys. Good session. All right,
Yeah.
I'll see you next week. To
Yes,